We're live. Good, beautiful Sunday morning, guys. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Hey, Adam G, your online Queenspirational talk show. As you all know, Miss USA, the forthcoming Miss USA, is happening very soon. And I am kickstarting my, and today I am definitely kickstarting my Miss USA 2022 live chat series. And I am so ready to do this right now. And who better way to kickstart my live chat series by featuring a film beauty who is from Hawaii, who is turning out to be one of the strongest contenders for this year's batch. You know, she may have grown up abroad, but she is surely as Filipino as she can ever be as she sits down with me to talk about her passions, interests, and background as she prepares for the upcoming competition. So here she is, live all the way from Hawaii. Please say hello to Miss Hawaii USA 2022, Kiana Yamat. Hi, Kiana.
Aloha. Thank you, Adam G, for having me. And aloha to the viewers and mahalo and thank you for joining.
Thank you so much for accommodating my request to do this live interview because I feel like I have to start doing this now because even though the pageant will still be taking place like end of September, I
Oh,
have to do this
and
now before you guys get busier.
yeah, I mean, it's already crazy, but definitely I'm excited to be able to share more about myself with you.
Thank you so much for giving me your time and effort in doing this interview with me. So, maraming salamat. I don't know if you can understand Filipino.
I cannot. I really wish I could. Unfortunately, a lot of us, second generation, it was lost with our learning American or learning English. And I really wish I could learn both Filipino and Spanish because I'm Mexican too, to really connect with the culture.
Oh, all right. So you were born and raised there your whole life.
I was actually born in California and raised in Hawaii.
Oh, but have you been to the Philippines before?
No, it's on my bucket list. My dad actually did live in Pampanga, and so is my family. They're all from my Filipino side, that is. They're from that side, but I never got to visit. It's on my bucket list. I want to be able to connect with the people and the culture. I was very lucky to grow up here in Hawaii because we have a huge Filipino American population, and we all talk about our dishes, our cultures, things that we can relate to, but unfortunately, I've never been.
Oh, all right. Sorry. Some of your sorry, I didn't get where your dad come. Where did your dad come from? So is he from Pampanga? Because the
Yes.
message got garbled or muffled in the
No
middle.
worries. I am Kapampangan, but my dad grew up in Angeles City in Pampanga.
Mm. Oh, what about your mom?
My mom is actually Mexican, so she
Ah,
yes, so she's from California, San Jose.
oh. You know who remind me so much after you revealing that your mom is Mexican and your dad
Mhm.
is Filipino? Jessica Sanchez.
Oh my goodness, there's so many famous Filipino Mexican Americans. Have you ever heard of Enrique Iglesias?
Of course, he sang the Miss You. Oh,
I can be
Enrique.
a hero, baby. I can't sing, but that's exactly who I love and admire. And I had no idea he was the mix until recently.
Oh, wait, before we proceed with the interview, can we greet some of our viewers who are tuned in right now? This is our interviews being live streamed on my YouTube channel as well. Hey Adam G. So let's engage some of them. From Will Buhain. This is it, Sir Adam. Thank you. Good morning, aloha, Hawaii.
Oh,
From
aloha,
Gian
everyone.
Castro, he says gorgeous
Oh, thank
Kiana
you.
as
So
well.
sweet. Mahalo.
And then from Bri Regino, mahal kita
Oh,
Miss Hawaii.
love you too. Love the
And then
support.
who else is saying something here? Gian is also has another comment. He says, "Oh, she's from Pampanga. She's a Kapampangan." So let's also say hi to Romo Chu Rees, who's also watching us from General Santos City here in the Philippines. From
Wow.
MG, hi Miss Hawaii, can you say mahal mo ako? Char. You know mahal mo ako in English?
What does that mean?
Meaning,
Ma
do
Oh,
you love
mahalo? Is that what she's asking?
no 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 mahalo is different. This is mahal mo ako.
Ooh, what does that
I
mean?
love you.
Oh, I love you too. I love,
I
you
love
know,
you too. I love you, like something like that.
oh, in
In Filipino,
in Filipino,
mahal, mahal.
mahal,
Just say mahal kita, Rome.
mahal kita.
Yeah, mahal kita, Rome. That means I love you,
Yeah, you guys are all gonna have to
Rome.
teach me Filipino.
Yeah, because when you say mahal kita, it usually connotes love for someone like a boyfriend or girlfriend. Usually it's attached with romance,
Mhm.
not the same love that you
Oh,
have for your parents or your
okay.
brother. Yeah,
Oh
it's
man, I
usually
wish I learned that sooner. I think I've said I love you to way too many people a little bit too intimately with the wrong verbiage. Good to know. Thank you for telling me.
so. There are some people here who are already asking you these hard hitting questions. Would you
Ooh,
want to
okay.
answer one of them? Okay, from Jefferson Magbuana. Hi, Miss Hawaii. Who do you think is your strongest competitor in Miss USA 2022?
I would easily say everyone. When I went to Cancun, Mexico, and got to interact with all the different state contenders, of course, excluding Texas and Colorado because they weren't there yet. So I'm hoping to meet them as soon as possible. But everybody was well accomplished. They're all gorgeous individuals. Everybody is a strong competitor. I wouldn't discount anyone.
Wait, can you fill in some details for me? What does this whole Cancun trip is for you guys? Like, why do you guys go out of town like 6 months before the actual competition? What does it usually do for you girls in the actual competition?
Mhm. I know it started last year, their first event, but it's really one besides, the glam shots and the headshots. It's for us to get to know the other contestants a little bit more personally. So we're not just going up there to, be competitors. At the end of the day, Miss USA is a sisterhood. We're trying to connect with women from across the country and having a fun environment where we get to stand up paddleboard. I actually took out a couple girls who had never been paddleboarding before, taught them how to do it. I saved one. I'll leave her name out, but we get to do fun things together outside of competing at Miss USA, and I was really grateful for that opportunity. Plus, I've never been to Cancun, Mexico, so that was a whole experience in itself.
So how long is this usually uh is this
I I
short trip
believe we were
about?
there
Like
only for 3 days.
3 days?
Yeah.
Can you So wow, I can imagine it was very, very short-lived for you despite the
Mhm.
fun that you guys are having.
I wish it was longer. I At the end of it, I really had so much fun. I we still There's a group chat of us that we're constantly talking. We FaceTime, we group text. It wasn't enough time. I know I'm grateful for the experience because I know it takes a lot of money and sponsorship just to get all of us 50 girls, or I think it was 49 because we were missing the two states. But to have more time to be able to connect, and I know I will after the pageant too. We're all going to be friends after this.
So it's basically a bonding trip.
Yes, yes.
Because I feel like, do you think some of your activities there, you guys are already being scored for
Um,
the pageant?
at the end of the day, you are a public influencer, you are in a competition, and you need to be able to present yourself in a way that's appealing to everyone. I took it as an opportunity to show my personality. I love people. I love new experiences, and I hope that that showed in my in people meeting me. I was told that, so hopefully I made a good impression. But I tried to worry more about connecting with others and really having a good conversation and getting to know somebody a little bit more personally instead of, ooh, I'm going to size this person up, because that's not how I compete. I see it as a competition with myself. I'm trying to bring my best package. I'm trying to be the best that I can be. And to me, that has nothing to do with what the other girls are doing. I want to be friends.
So who are your closest Miss USA sisters now
I
after that
love,
trip?
I love Tiffany from California. We actually, she went to the University of Hawaii as well. So I got to
Mm.
talk to her about, our similar experiences. Her parents live here now too, and she's just a ball of energy. I really enjoy her. And then on top of that, I there were other states: Illinois, New Hampshire, Indiana. I could list them all. New Jersey. Um,
Oh,
all those girls are so sweet, and they're all so genuine and real. And prior to this, I didn't really have any pageant experience. Miss Hawaii USA was my first pageant ever outside of watching my sister compete. So
yeah.
all I knew about pageants was things I saw on TV, and it pageants get a bad rep for being petty, but that wasn't the case when I went down there, and I'm so grateful that all these women were so nice.
That's great to hear. That's so great to hear, right? But you know what? How have you been since your crowning moment since 5 months ago?
I've been great. I am blessed with so many different opportunities. Living in Hawaii, I am, on a small island. Oh no, did he drop off?
No, no, no. It's okay.
Are
I'm
you
still
still
in the
there? Okay.
background. Yeah,
Oh, no worries.
I just want to see
Um,
your face up close for the viewers to see as well.
okay, cool. I was worried I lost you for a second. But anyway, it's been nothing but crazy. I still worked full time as a civil engineer in the construction industry, but I'm very lucky that Hensel Phelps, the construction company that I work for, lets me go on these trips. I've been able to travel to Texas, to California. I've never been to most of these places in my entire life. Like I've mentioned, I live on an island, and seeing there's different cultures within the United States. There's so much diversity that being exposed to those experiences has been the greatest experience of my life.
I see. Yeah, yeah. Miss Hawaii USA has been doing a lot of great things. In fact, though, the previous winner, your predecessor, Alison
Mhm.
Chu, I was just watching one of her interviews. Yeah, last night she walked for New York Fashion Week recently. On top of the many things that the organization has been giving, asking her to do and making her attend. So wow, that's a lot of things
Oh
in
yeah,
store for you
she's an
for
established
the
model.
for the rest for the rest of your range. But have you noticed how there seems to be so much interest about you right now, considering that you're one of the three Filipinas competing in Miss USA soon?
What's kind of crazy to me is I started getting tagged in, stories and posts on Instagram. So out of curiosity, I just Googled myself. I try not to, because positive or negative, I want to stay grounded. But I Googled myself out of curiosity, and seeing that there's so much support from the Philippines for all three of us is amazing. I already am a proud Filipino American, and seeing that people are acknowledging that, and we're bringing more diversity, especially Asian Americans, into the Miss USA, organization and platform, is an honor and a privilege. It makes me nervous because I don't want to disappoint anybody, and I want to do my best to make everyone proud. But it's an honor. I had no idea any of this stuff was happening until I Googled myself right after you reached out to interview.
Oh, thank you so much for thank you for so much for accommodating my request. Yeah, in fact, I even see you and the other two candidates, being featured even here in our TV stations, in
That's
our
crazy to
primetime
me.
newscast, right? So there suddenly is a huge interest about you guys. So there's a question here from Jefferson Magbanwa, since we've been talking about, you know, Filipino support. How is the support of the Filipino community in the US for your candidacy?
Well, the state of Hawaii is the only state in the United States that's majority of the population is Asian American. So I've received a lot of support from that alone. And to me, it's more the state of Hawaii that's supporting me. There's definitely a lot of support from the Filipino community, but I guess I don't notice it as much because I grew up around so many Filipinos being from Lahaina, Maui, that it's just a part of my everyday, like, oh, my friends, my family. It's not necessarily, oh yeah, we're defining ourselves as Filipino, and it's an honor to now be socially aware of that we are all proud Filipina and Filipino-Americans, and it's important for us to advocate for that and to show support that we are here, we're proud, we're intelligent, and we're here to compete at USA.
Does this uh extra or extra interest, or yeah, huge interest about you right now make you feel some sort of pressure to do well for the competition? Because I feel like, all eyes of the Filipino, especially the Filipino pageant fans, are on you right now. Like, yeah.
Oh, absolutely. With this entire pageant, there's added pressure. Before, my day to day life was walking around a construction job site in a hard hat with a safety vest and dirty concrete stained jeans and steel toe boots. And now I'm this pageant queen that people are paying attention to. And of course, there's
Yeah.
added pressure. And while it is nerve wracking at times, I invite it because a really good quote was told to me recently by my own sister: growth and comfort do not coexist. And if there's an added pressure, I excel under pressure. I want to be a diamond. We're turning from coal to a diamond. So if people are trying to challenge me to be better, I invite it.
All right. So yeah, now that you've talked about it, you've been talking about your background. So can you tell us more about yourself? Yeah, for some of our viewers who may still want to get to know you more, because we've been hearing a lot of words like engineering,
Mhm.
yeah,
Yeah.
Filipino. So can you share more about it before we proceed?
Yeah. While I'm very proud of all of those things, I actually most recently got attention for the fact that I have lost over 60 pounds. I did the conversion, it's
Oh,
27.2 in kilograms for people who don't use pounds like we do in the United States. But I recently lost that because I used to struggle with emotional eating. For those of you who don't know, I used to wrestle in high school, and a really bad practice of wrestling is binge eating after weigh ins because you're starving yourself this whole time to make a certain weight. And I would binge eat, to replenish what I had lost. But I carried that habit with me into my adulthood. And what that meant for me is I would emotionally eat. I would binge eat in sadness. I would binge eat in happiness. It just became, food became a comfort for me. So during the pandemic, I unfortunately had some really bad news. My mom was diagnosed with breast cancer. And while she has overcome it, she is cancer free. I realized that added stress and my emotions, I had to really focus on what that meant. I couldn't keep eating. I couldn't keep doing these detrimental things to my health. I had to be there for my family. I had to be there for myself. And I really focused on how do I fix this? First, mental health, dealing with stress, acknowledging how I felt, and then I worked on my physical. So now I reestablished being the athlete I was. When I was in high school, I mentioned I wrestled. I was also cheerleading captain, and I did track and field pole vaulting, where you throw yourself over the thin pole at different heights. But I focused on my physical fitness, regained that athlete, and I was able to lose 60 pounds and reestablish healthy habits.
I'm so sorry to hear that. How is your mom right now?
She is great. I know it was a difficult time, and I can really sympathize with people who struggled through difficulties during the pandemic. Uh, I'm not sure, I can't speak to everybody's experience, but my experience was in Hawaii. We weren't allowed to go in the hospital to be with her during her treatments. We weren't allowed to be in the hospital with her surgeries. And I am so grateful for the fact that we have healthcare providers who were so generous, so caring. She only had positive things to say. People were so loving that I'm grateful while I was sitting outside on the curb waiting for her surgery to end, waiting for good news that there are good things in this world. And that's actually one of the things that I've learned is if you take care of others, things, I believe in karma. If you take care of others, it'll come back around.
But you know what? I'm impressed that you have this right mindset to handle such huge things, or such matters in your hands without really sulking down without looking at it from the point of view, oh my gosh, I feel like the whole world is turning up against me. I'm experiencing all these
Mhm.
sordid, horrible things. But you, basing from your story, took it upon yourself to empower yourself to rise through, to rise above the situations that you went through this pandemic. So wow,
Mhm.
that's
Thank
already, you really won your title for nothing. You really clearly,
thank
you are a perfect example of a young empowered woman right now, and I think that's what Miss USA. If those judges
you.
you will see uh by the end of September get to listen to your story, well, they'll probably impress in as much as I am impressed the way how you are narrating all these things to me.
Oh, mahalo. Thank you so much. At the end of the day, I want to share my story as genuinely and as honest as I can. I don't want it to be, yes, we are glam, we are beauty queens, but we're still people. And Miss USA or any title holder should be able to easily relate to and communicate with her fans, with the community, with anybody. And that's what I'm trying to do is just be as relatable and easygoing as possible.
That's true. That's true. So there's a question here from
Mhm.
Will Buhain.
Oh,
Kiana
hi.
had a very Kiana has
He's
a very
messaged me
inspired.
on
I'm sorry.
sorry. He's messaged me on Instagram, so I wanted to say hi.
Oh, all right. Oh, wait. Oh, he's probably a huge fan of yours. So, Kiana has a very inspiring story from being a fat girl to Miss Hawaii USA. And now you're competing for the title of Miss USA. Do you think your backstory will be one of your edge in the upcoming competition from losing weight to being a pageant girl? Do you think that will resonate enough to the judges come
Well,
September?
what's crazy to me is I never really practiced talking about my weight loss journey or my transformation. And it wasn't until my Miss Hawaii USA interview, like I hadn't rehearsed any of these questions, and they asked only about my transformation, not only about my transformation, but a lot of it was about my transformation. And I was honored to share with it. And because they were so interested, I went on TikTok. I went from 10 followers. I posted my first video, which I struggled through posting, which was a little snippet of Disneyland foods that I ate in celebration after I won. But my second video went viral with over 2.1 million views of my transformation from when I started training for Miss Hawaii USA until after I won, which was the 55 pounds lost. I've lost 60 as I continue to train for Miss USA, but the 55 pounds lost. And I went viral from 10 followers to over 23,000 overnight. And what I realized is it's important to share that story because so many people can relate to that. People struggle with their weight loss. And I do want to emphasize it wasn't necessarily a physical, beautiful thing. I was curvy and beautiful when I started. I'm still curvy and beautiful now, but it was really a health thing. I actually went to the doctor about now it's almost 2 years ago. And she told me my cholesterol was high. Um, I was at risk for a bunch of obesity related diseases. Oh my gosh.
I'm just showing you the transformation that you went through
You're
recently.
so sweet.
Yeah,
It
go
always
ahead.
makes me so happy to see that, but it resonated with people to see that I was able to make that transformation. And I want to emphasize it was not overnight. It took a full year of slowly making positive, healthy changes. And it started with my mental health and then moving on to my physical. But I do think from a competitive edge, yes, it absolutely is because people want to do what I did. At least those who have reached out to me have said, I don't know how you did it. I would love to learn. And I love that you did it in a healthy way. I wasn't starving myself. I eat more than I ever have in my entire life. I just eat clean. I have more energy. And I really focus on hitting the gym and hitting those weights. And well, I'm not going to lie, I hate the treadmill, but I do love the stair mill. I love cardio outside of running because I've never been a fan of running, which is ironic. I pole vaulted in high school because that was the shortest run you could do. And yeah, I do think it's a competitive edge.
That's great. So, do you think a feel beauty like you can finally win the
I
Miss
hope
USA
so.
crown? This
I
is a
sure hope
question coming
so.
from Will Buhain as well. Yeah. Has there been a winner for
I
Miss
don't think there
USA in the
has.
history? Yeah,
I
I there
I'm
was for
surprised
Miss
you
Teen
haven't seen it.
USA. There was
Mhm.
one though for Miss Teen USA and Miss America, but not yet for Miss USA. Correct me if I'm wrong, guys. For
I
those of
believe
you who are still watching us.
Vanessa Lachey for Teen USA, correct?
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know for Miss USA, but
So, so all this time that you listening to your story about your emotional eating, your STEM
Mhm.
course. So all this time you had all these all you had this childhood dream of yours to become a beauty queen.
Well, it's funny
Is
because
it
I've
because of your culture? Because you're both a product of two
oh,
cultures who are into
two
pageantry.
pageant powerhouses, Mexico and the Philippines. Oh my goodness. Um, actually, my dream to be a princess came from, or a queen came from Disneyland. I'm a huge Disney fan and watch, the crowns and the princess stories. I won't lie, I wasn't aware of pageants, of actual beauty pageants, until Pia won, and then I started watching, and I became a fan through watching her answer at Miss Universe. She was so beautiful and elegant and intelligent that it inspired me to watch. And being Miss USA, being Miss Hawaii USA, Miss Universe even, has been a recent dream of mine because I want to use the platform to share my story. I have a lot of different things I want to advocate for, and it's been an honor to watch amazing women hold the title and see what they do with it. And I hope that I have the opportunity to do the same.
Yeah, was it about platforms like Miss USA that is enticing girls like you to join? Let's face
Well,
it, you are working in a very, I feel like you're working in a very successful field right now,
thank you.
engineering, STEM. So why still compete? Like, not waste your time, but why still, pursue this, considering that you're probably earning so much as an
Mhm.
engineer working in the science and technology industry?
For a very long time, I sacrificed my femininity because I felt like I had to conform to the boys' club. Engineering is very male dominated. I've been on a construction job site where I was the only female with over 50 males. And I tried to tone down my femininity. I tried to tone down my beauty. I've tried to be as masculine as possible to try and fit into those gender roles. And what I realized is I don't need to do that. I can be who I am and be successful. And a woman's place is exactly where she wants it to be. And that's why I ran for Miss Hawaii USA, and of course now Miss USA, is to show the world that you don't have to be overly masculine, overly aggressive to enter STEM, to enter construction. You can be me. You can be just a regular girl who loves what she does. And Miss Hawaii USA has allowed me to do that, to show that, to share that message.
That's great. That's great. Um, Now that you're talking about it, you're talking about your course. What made you take up engineering? Because that says a lot about you know, about your intelligence, smartness. Because engineering is a very difficult course. You have to be good in math
Mhm.
in order
Oh,
for
you're going
you
to expose me as a
to
nerd.
pursue or excel that course. Oh,
Which I am. I'm definitely a nerd, but it actually came from, I mentioned I love Disney. Well, I love Disneyland. And my dad, growing up in the Philippines, Lolo and Lola wasn't able to take all the family on family vacations, and he grew up dreaming that the American dream was to be able to take his children to Disneyland, and that's a vacation that we did annually. Something that I appreciated because I knew he worked hard to sacrifice to be able to take us to Disneyland. And I know my mom hated it because it's the same vacation every year. I promised mom, don't worry, we're going to go on a different vacation one day, but we still love Disneyland. But Disneyland inspired me because I saw how they take the arts and technology and combine it to create the Disney magic experience. And that inspired me to become an engineer because it's more than just, oh, this is a fun time. It's what does it take to create these rides? And really, Imagineers inspired me to become an engineer. Long term, I do love concrete, so that's why I'm a civil engineer working in construction instead of trying to pursue Imagineering. But Disneyland is what inspired me to become an engineer.
so from being inspired by Disney to pursue your course of becoming an engineer, so let's not. I want to ask this. So what challenges have you faced from being light and frothy in looking up on the whole marvel and grandiosity of the whole Disneyland landscape to you working in the real world. And as I've said it, people traditionally look at engineering as a male dominated field. Have you experienced any challenges while
Every day.
working, while pursuing and practicing your course in this profession?
Oh, absolutely. I mentioned earlier that I felt like I had to sacrifice my femininity, tone down who I am. There are times when people, as we're unloading materials off a truck, and they say, "Oh, yeah, Kiana, the next person, like we need somebody else to carry this. You're not strong enough," or
Yeah,
"I'm not willing to get dirty and concrete to help do layout," and that's pretty much marking out where things are going for people who don't know. But just like the dismissing the fact that I can get dirty, work hard, and be strong. And those little preconceived notions about what a woman should or shouldn't do, I face those every single day. I've learned to overcome them by acknowledging my worth, my ability to perform my job successfully. But I do face those, and part of my advocacy is advocating for young women to confidently pursue construction engineering despite these gender norms, because I can still lift the materials. Sometimes I need help and I'll admit that, but I'm going to do my best because this is where I want to be.
why do you think there is such a double standard for women like you pursuing or practicing your profession in a male dominated field like engineering?
I think we're taught to believe that women are just these super caring, kind, motherly individuals, and they are. Don't get me wrong, they still are. But we're so much more than that. I think society has programmed us to believe that we are supposed to stay at home, be a little bit more on the softer side, but I can be soft and have confidence. I can still be intelligent and feminine. I don't have to be overly masculine. And that's really the issue, is just saying that a specific gender or a specific type of person is associated with these roles. That's not okay with me. I try every day to break them, and I hope I can encourage young women and women in the industry to stay in it and keep going, because this is where we belong.
True. Yeah, because whenever I read articles about it, yeah, I just feel like women are very treated unfairly when it comes to this
Oh yeah.
topic. Yeah, I just came across with an article saying that, you know, there seems to be a bias against women who excel in this field because they feel
Mhm.
like women excelling in this field, like engineering, are deemed to be too difficult to work with or unsociable. Whereas if you, let's say, women like you, let's say, pursue a profession that is deemed too stereotypical, like, professions like in the healthcare industry or probably as educators in the academic field, there seems to be no problem at all, right?
Yeah, it is unfortunate that there are those stereotypes, because people have come up to me asking specific inappropriate things, assuming that I'm a certain way because I work in the industry that I do. But at the end of the day, as I've mentioned before, we have to break these stereotypes, because I am easy to work with. I hope you can ask any of my coworkers. I will talk to them all day. I'm not socially awkward. Well, unless I'm nerding out about concrete or Back to the Future. But other than that, I'm still socially. I'm so, what is the term? I'm sociable. I like to talk to people. I love people. I'm an extrovert. That has nothing to do with my career. That has nothing to do with my intelligence or my ability to be an engineer. And it's very unfair, because a lot of the coworkers I do work with, they don't fall into those stereotypes. Nobody falls into those stereotypes. It's not fair to place certain characteristics on somebody just because they want to pursue something a little bit more aggressive.
you know, Listening to you right now, I regret not taking up my science subjects in high school because I really hate science. Seriously, I'd rather solve math than problems than memorize or solve or deal with this chemistry or physics problems back in
I
high
mean,
school. You just make science so cool. honestly.
Oh, yeah, science, engineering, technology, math.
So,
But I love it.
so how could you encourage more young girls to pursue STEM related courses in the near future?
One thing that I've been doing is doing just a very simple activity from the elementary school to the college level, and that's doing a spaghetti marshmallow tower building exercise. And it's introducing concepts of engineering that they didn't realize is important. Most people don't realize civil engineering, you can look around you and it's everywhere, from the water we drink to the buildings we live in to the roads we drive on. I try to kind of throw that in while they're trying to build these little towers and making it challenging enough to that, oh, okay, I'm still using my brain to figure out how can I make this taller, because marshmallows, if you ever tried it, it's not easy to stick together and it's not easy to hold the structure. But introducing those little concepts and simultaneously teaching them teamwork, because usually have them in teams, and then teaching them leadership. And what I've noticed is all the challenges I've done with them, it's a group of young girls who win the challenge. And that just goes to show we need to promote more girls to get into this field, because with more women, with more people, we have more ideas and creative solutions to our world's problems. And it starts with little tower building exercises, as simple as that, just to get them interested. And I hope with Miss USA, I can expand that platform. I can expand that reach, because right now I'm only doing that in Hawaii. But I would love to do that elsewhere because it's fun. We can even do it. I love tower building with little marshmallows.
Yeah, that sounds fun. It will definitely appeal to a lot of young girls. Definitely. So there's a comment here because we've been talking about science and technology for the past few minutes already. From Stephen Anderson. We're wrapping up this interview in a little while. Don't worry. Most of my questions are done. So let's just engage some of them before we wrap up this interview, Kiana. I'm originally from Texas. They would not survive without the rest of USA. Weak electric grid.
Oh my goodness. Originally
Did
from
you get
Texas.
that?
So I'm reading it now. I am originally from Texas. They would not survive without the rest of you. Say we Oh man, you guys need public infrastructure upgrades. The entire United States needs public infrastructure upgrades, and I'm happy to advocate for them. I can speak for days on why we need better stormwater systems, why we need better water resources. Oh, don't get me started. You're opening up a can of worms.
Oh, maybe for another interview altogether. More
Yeah.
related about STEM. Yeah, from let's see here. From Pia Gamboa. You know what? You resemble Leona Lewis. Have you ever gotten this comment
I
before?
haven't, but mahalo. Thank you for the compliment.
Yeah, and from Chris, I think he just joined in a few minutes ago, so that's why he's asking you: have you connected with Miss Texas and Arboni and Suzanne, Miss New Mexico? Have you visited the Philippines? She has answered this earlier, but for you, for the benefit of Chris, who is my friend from Washington, from the state of
Oh,
Washington, whom
no
I've
problem.
just recently met during my Mr. Supranational USA coverage. Maybe you could indulge
Cool.
him right now.
Yeah, no problem. Hi Chris. Thanks for joining. So I haven't met Arbany yet. I hope to. She actually was crowned after Cancun, so I didn't get the opportunity to meet her. But I did meet Suzanne, and I love her. We actually have a TikTok video of us doing that. It's you stand on a platform and it takes a video while a camera spins around, and we're dancing kind of awkwardly. It doesn't look awkward. It felt awkward, but we're dancing, and she's a sweetheart. I absolutely adore her. I can't wait to see her again at Miss USA. And then, of course, meeting Arbany. And no, I haven't visited the Philippines. It's on my bucket list. My dad lived there. My family, my Lolo and Lola are from there. So I would love to visit one day. It's on my bucket list. I'm hoping the travel opportunities that I get with this platform will allow me to go there or anytime in my life. But if anybody wants to volunteer to be a tour guide in the Philippines, I would love a tour from somebody who knows it.
Well,
Yes, take me.
I can be a volunteer, but I couldn't be as professional and extensive as those tour guides are here in Manila. But I'll charge less. Joke. But Yeah, but imagine, but kidding aside, imagine how powerful it would be if the three of you will actually make it to the actual top five of the competition. I mean,
We're
that's
manifesting it.
Filipino
We're
power.
praying on it.
Yeah, yeah. When was the last time Hawaii placed so high in Miss USA?
Well,
2016, the Shauna Barbers with
Chelsea
Chelsea.
Harding, she
Yeah,
took first runner up. Gorgeous,
yeah.
beautiful individual. And I hope that I can do just as well, if not better. I want to represent the state of Hawaii the best that I can, and I know that if given the opportunity, I would be great at it.
Have you spoken to any one of your predecessors for
Oh,
your
all of
upcoming
them,
competition?
all the time. Samantha Nealon is actually one of my coaches. She sponsors Miss Hawaii USA. Lacey Choi, who placed before that, she's actually one of the ones who coached me personally. Ali Chu, my crown, the person, sorry, the Miss who crowned me. We see each other all the time at events. Same with her sister Julie. I haven't met Julie Kuo yet, and I would love to meet her. And Chelsea, we had lunch and dinner because she actually is a fitness sponsor for Miss Hawaii USA. So I'm very lucky. We have an extensive, very extensive group of accomplished women, and I've been lucky to meet majority of them in from recent years.
I would love to meet all of you guys there in Hawaii. Yeah, you know what?
Come, I'll give you a tour, and I
Actually
won't
I've
charge you.
been to I I've been to Hawaii already. I just came there, but I just went there for a
Oh, you
layover.
did?
Because I was in the States like last May, because I was invited to cover the Mr. Supranational USA this year under a new national director. So the new national director flew me in there. So he booked me a United ticket, and the layover for most of the United for the United airfares are either Japan or Guam. Yeah, Guam, either Japan or Guam and Honolulu. So I got the
Mhm.
Guam and Honolulu route. So I was there for like 3 hours, 4 hours. I was just there
That's
in the
enough
airport.
time for me to take you to lunch. So hit me up
Yeah,
next time.
yeah. I just stayed. I just ate in a healthy restaurant there. I forgot the name of the restaurant, but seeing the guys there, wow. Wow.
I
I
mean,
was like, I mean, if they were just wearing shirts in the airport and shorts, I feel like,
oh my goodness.
I feel like, guys, take me to the beach with you. They're so
Oh,
hot. Oh, that's the point of the whole thing.
Hawaii does have very beautiful individuals. I won't lie. All of us are tans, bronze, gods and goddesses because all we do is, run around on the beach.
Mm.
So I don't blame you.
So
I have a hard time as well.
the first thing that came into my mind was when I landed during that layover was to look for Brooklyn, because I got to interview her last year. So that's why I proposed that we do this interview at this local time of yours, so that it will be afternoon for you and noontime here in the Philippines. So like um I saw, because I landed in the airport where I think United Airlines has an exclusive airport in Hawaii. So that's where I just stayed for 4 hours. And I was just looking at the windows outside. It's like there's just so many mountains. Like, there is a city overlooking a lot of mountains from afar. So like, one day I want to go out, but I don't know if I didn't know if I could go out that time. So imagine, it would be so amazing for me
Yeah,
to
I
go
would love to
outside the
see you.
airport.
And then
Yeah, and
actually, I did build part of the newer version of the airport recently, the Malka extension. So if you do get to travel back into Hawaii, that new terminal, you can thank me and think of me. Ooh, plane, Kiana. No,
yeah, yeah. Now, yeah, definitely. I'll definitely think of you now whenever I think about Hawaii. In fact, I'm hoping that the Miss Universe pageant will be held there, because I feel like
oh, that would be amazing.
if the next edition will be held there, I'll definitely fly. But I have to work out hard, because there's so many beaches there, and I don't want to be like a killjoy by just by
Oh,
wearing.
you're already handsome. You're fine. You're totally fine. Don't
All right.
you
So,
don't
you know, as much as I'm really, enjoying this interview, I have to wrap up. I have to wrap this up now. There's no doubt that you're one of the contenders that we are keeping an eye on in the upcoming
know.
competition. So here we go with my Last classic question. Kiana, answer this. Why do you think you should be the next Miss USA?
Miss USA, above anything, should be relatable. And I've been very blessed and lucky to have multiple experiences that allow me to connect with individuals, whether it be my transformation and weight loss journey and overcoming emotional eating, or taking care of a sick parent who dealt with cancer during the pandemic. There's so many different things that I advocate for and want to promote for Miss USA that I would be an excellent candidate. And I hope that I get the privilege and blessing and the opportunity to win.
Uh, you'll definitely do well in the competition. I can't wait for it to start. So, last question. There is a question here from Enzo Glam. How are you? What's your strategy for winning the title?
It's as simple as being my authentic, honest self. I don't ever want to put up a front to make you guys believe that I am somebody that I'm not. I am, I am a nerd. I'm a civil engineer. I love concrete, but at the same time, I can put on a face, I can be glam, I can be beautiful, and represent a title with honor. There are so many different things about me that I'd love to share, and that's all authentic. I don't want it to be where I'm pretending to be somebody just to hold the title. So that is my strategy: is be me and let people know who I am. And I'm blessed with the opportunity to interview with you, Adam. So thank you for allowing me to share my story so people can get to know me authentically and a little better.
You're welcome. I just love what you said. I love to put on concrete.
I love concrete. I know how to
That's
make
so
concrete float
sexy.
too.
That's so sexy. Especially if I hear a man says that to
You're,
me in
you're,
front of me, like, ah. Sorry,
you're so funny.
I'm sorry if I'm sexifying things up right now.
No, no,
Sorry.
concrete is sexy.
It's the effect of it's the result of watching too much Sex in the City before.
Oh my gosh, you're so funny. You're fine. You're totally
I remember,
fine.
I remember Samantha, the character of who's the girl, who's the bitchiest girl among the four.
The blonde. Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
Her name is escaping me.
Kim Cattrall, I remember her character, had this conversation with this guy that she met in the bar, and then, oh, you're good with your hands, you lay concrete, like, and,
I could make
but
concrete.
anyway, enough of it. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Kiana, for this amazing, fun interview. I had such a blast getting to know you, and I hope this won't be the first and last time I'll get to interview you soon.
Oh,
Thank you so much for giving the time and effort in gracing this interview.
no, mahalo, Adam G. Thank you so much for having me. I'm so grateful for the opportunity to again share my story because this is my first live interview and my first international interview, and it's an honor that it's with you. So thank you.
The pleasure is mine. And so as my last question, can you give a message to all your followers, especially to your Filipino fans, rooting for you and supporting you now that they've just heard you talk for the upcoming competition?
Mahalo, and thank you so much for your love and support. I do try my best to read the comments. I do read all the positive messages you guys send me, and I'm very grateful. It actually motivates me to do my best. So I appreciate every kind word that you say. I am going to do my best to make you all proud.
Thank you so much. No doubt you will definitely do well in the competition. With your caliber, beauty, and stock as a contestant, you'll definitely make the judges take a second look on you. Thank you so much. Virtual hugs and kisses all the way here from Manila, Philippines. Mwah. Take
Bye.
care. Bye. Good luck.